Why is the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu that important?
Well, it's important because Nnamdi Kanu has considered himself as a security risk and a threat to Nigeria. He has made himself a security risk and a threat. He has taken his well, let me put it in quote, madness so far, and I'm very, very advisedly using that word. He has taken it so far to the point that he now sees himself as the Lord of the Manor. The entire Southeast has been held under his grip. The entire Southeast, both those pro-Biafra, anti-Biafra, government, opinion leaders, they can't speak against Nnamdi Kanu in public because he has infiltrated every nook and crannies. So he has held that region in the jugular because nobody knows who are his foot soldiers. Nobody knows who is going to attack who. So it's a big relief. Even that's as I said, a lot of people, a lot of groups in the Southeast are now finding their voice and they are now speaking out. A lot of them are now happy that this monster has finally been brought into the cage. Because really and truly, let's face it, apart from even those who are pro Biafra, who are support what Nnamdi Kanu is doing, the experience of the last few weeks back, let's credit to the fact that nobody is safe. Because when you go to the market, excuse me, when you go to the market to throw a stone, you don't know who is going to be caught by that stone. Or when you go to the public place and defecate or pollute the air, you don't know who is going to get the repercussions. So that was the situation with the Southeast. A lot of innocent people have died. Innocent Igbos have died in your quest for whatever. Security agencies of Igbo extraction has been killed in cold blood. Infrastructure has been destroyed that is to be used by the people. So who really are you fighting for?
So the question, Alesta, in this point is, the point you're making is that IPOB has never claimed responsibility for all of those things that you just mentioned. In fact, they have always said that they don't carry arms. They are not responsible for all the destruction that we have seen that had happened in the East recently. That's always been the stance of IPOB.
Unfortunately, media houses. Well, I don't know if Sheriff, if your program buys that idea, but media houses has always, is what has helped IPOB to get to this level with that satanic narrative. Media houses, the media, the southern perverse media has been the sole brain behind IPOB get to this level. When they keep going with narrative, IPOB says don't carry arms. For goodness sake, Sheriff, we're in this country. We've seen the atrocities committed by these guys. When they would say the entire Southeast should not go out, declare a day of who goes out. Is it because the people do not want to go out? But because they've been held by the force of law. I keep saying it and I'm repeating it. A Bonny prince, a Bonny chief elect from my village, a chief elect of Abbey House, December in 2019, was murdered and burnt by IPOB operatives in Onitsha area. A police officer, an assistant commissioner of deputy commissioner of police, chief elect of Abbey House of Bonny, where I come from, was killed, macheted, and burnt. He was a chief elect of Bonny Kingdom by IPOB. And we have seen instances where IPOB carry out numerous killings. Okay, what the Eastern Security Network, what are they carrying? Dengon or stick? The Eastern Security Network, which is an offshoot of IPOB. So when the satanic, southern-dominated, perverse press keep pushing this narrative and then keep embodying IPOB and giving them propaganda platform to unleash their terror against their own people, against the Nigerian state, Nnamdi Kanu has said it clearly in all his audio. Go after them, kill them, get more arms. And then people are still saying that IPOB says don't carry arms. Nnamdi Kanu in his broadcast, in his YouTube pages and all the pages that we've had during the NSAS, you had him get more arms from them, kill them, destroy them, burn them, and yes, we say IPOB don't carry arms. What is satanic narrative? And that's what that's how we have grown IPOB to this level.
How do you think the government can approach this, Alesta? I mean, so Nnamdi Kanu is in custody now. How do you think? Because I'm hearing a lot of people saying that, you know, he should be negotiated with. He should be There should be a dialogue at some point. Yes, let him face whatever it is that they want him to face, but at some point there should be a dialogue. There should be a sit down between, because you can't underestimate the power that Kanu has currently.
No government in the world negotiates with criminals from the position of weakness. If you want to negotiate with criminals, it's from the position of strength. At this point, look, Nnamdi Kanu is just the head of a snake. Cut off the head of the snake, the body is useless. Because even his foot soldiers are confused. His foot soldiers, the real progressive Igbos do not support what Kanu is doing. Unfortunately, out of the fear of question, out of the fear of violence, most everyone seems not to have found their voices. The real progressive Igbos, the day-to-day average Igbo man that is struggling, that is committed to the cause of his environment, of his country, of his business, is not, forget about what you hear on, some of your colleagues will call now and be saying all kinds of things. They do not. Tell them now, do you want to live in Nigeria? They will not want to. So most people do not support what Nnamdi Kanu is doing. Rather, they have been coerced with force, with violence. Look at what happened in the last few days when they said a day of Biafra, and nobody went out in the southeast. Apart from River State, that the governor stand face to face and tell them, you can go to hell. This is not the Biafra land. So I believe that. Right now the Igbo man has found his voice, because violence is what has kept people in captivity, and they found their voice. So he will discover that Nnamdi Kanu is on his own, with his few disgruntled, with his few brainwashed dots all over the place. He's on his own right now.
Did you just say dots and not dogs? You said dots.
I said dots, D-O-T.
Because I just wanted to clarify that.
Dots.
Alistair, I've heard you. We must leave it here for now, Alistair.
So let me just tie it in there. So right now, Nnamdi Kanu should be made to face the full weight of the law. He looks like the picture I saw makes him look like one small rat from a hole. He should make the picture, and then there should be a general negotiation with the correct Igbos that seek the good of this land. And then whatever may be the grievances, yes, there are grievances all over the place. I have grievances against the Nigerian state. Everybody has. I've not been treated well. You have not been treated well. Everybody has not been treated well. But yes, we must all come together to support the government. And I give kudos to President Muhammad Buhari and the government for this big feat that nobody ever saw coming. It's a plot, and we will see more of this. And those that are enemies of this state will continue to bow down in shame.
Thank you, Alistair, for always coming around whenever we call on you. We're being joined right now by Dr. Monday Ubani, who joins us right telephone. Dr. Monday Ubani, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, Quadry, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
It could be better.
Fantastic. You're a lawyer. Let's look at this from the legal point of view. And I'm sure that you must have heard about the rearrest of Nnamdi Kanu. So we're going to go straight into the legal angle of all of these things. When Nnamdi Kanu was in front of the Federal High Court judge yesterday, he sought to be heard, and he said that he didn't jump bail willingly. He jumped bail. He had to run for his own safety, for his own survival. What is the position of the court of law in that instance? I'm not saying that you should preempt what the law would say or anything, but is that sufficient ground?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I want to start by saying that what the federal government did yesterday by taking him straight to the judiciary was clearly the right step, the right thing to do. Because immediately it was announced that Carlo has been rearrested. I'm sure the entire world was caught up with that breaking news, and the searchlight will be beaming on Nigerian system now, the Nigerian government, to see that they will engage in the legal niceties of ensuring fairness in whatever they want to do with Nnamdi Kanu, to avoid any backlash. And immediately I heard that he was taken straight to the court, and then the issue of his detention now is authorized by the court. Seems to be a very right step that the federal government has taken in a very long time, rather than probably engaging in a persecution. They engage in prosecution. Now he was undergoing a trial, if you remember vividly, before he was granted bail. That time he was in detention.
Right.
As a result of the order of the court.
Right.
Now, when it became very apparent that he had a medical issue, and then the lawyers then renewed the application that he should be granted bail pending the conclusion of the trial, the court made a pronouncement that he should be granted bail on held ground and given some conditions to observe while on bail. He was given some certain conditions, but along the line, we understood, to cut a long story short, that there was this invasion of his house, father's house, in which, some people even died, but he managed to escape. And since that time, he has been abroad. Now, yes, these are factual issues. For the court to grant you bail, there are laid down principles of law that the court observe in granting bail. Ordinarily, there are crimes that are not bailable, or that they're not granted as of right.
Okay.
You have to now come with, extenuating circumstances to convince the court that I should be granted bail, by right. And those has to be by proof. And that is why he was granted. I think it was medical report that was tendered that led to the issue of being granted bail before, because it was not ordinarily a bailable offense. Now that he allegedly now, said to have jumped bail, the court will also look at the situation that led to him running away out of the country. They will look at that situation. They will look at the factual presentation of the prosecution too. What are the issues? And then when he allegedly jumped bail, what has been his antecedent? What has been his character? What he has been doing? Probably, is it to destabilize or to maintain peace in the country? These issues will come into consideration. I'm saying specifically what may impinge on the mind of the judge before probably he will want to grant bail again pending the conclusion of the trial, or whether the court will want to say, okay, I'm ordering what you call accelerated hearing. I want to hear this matter maybe day by day, process, and ensure that this matter ends so quickly so that he can know of his fate whether he is guilty or whether he is innocent. The court can do that. There are two measures now: either give a bail, grant bail again, or engage in accelerated hearing to ensure that justice is done also. Because justice is done to three parties in a criminal offense. It is about the complainant, it's about also the state, it's also about the accused person. Now, basically, there is what we call presumption of innocence to every criminal, to every alleged offender. The law presumes you to be innocent. It's a constitutional presumption and can only be rebutted, when there is evidence which the court will rely upon to convict. Only after conviction that you can now go to prison. But in the absence of conviction, in the absence of evidence being produced, before the court will always assume that any man that, no matter how heinous, no matter how grievous the offense, that you are presumed to be innocent in the eyes of the law until the conclusion of the entire process.
Fantastic. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. This is the Morning Crossfire. Dr. Monday Ubani is on the phone with us, and we're looking at the legal ramification of where we are currently right now concerning the rearrest and rearrangement of Nnamdi Kanu. We'll have about 5 more minutes to spend with Dr. Monday Ubani, which means that I will have to quickly go back to him. Once we're done with Dr. Monday Ubani, we'll have a break. After the break, I'll come back and speak to you a bit before we now go take on our next guest. Dr. Ubani, my next point of question is this, and it's very, very critical. So the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu, they said that they were not aware that their clients were being arrested, that they only got notified by the court. Is there anything wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong. What happened is that how this arrest, may have been affected because that explanation was missing in the press brief.
That's right.
Of the Attorney General. It could be a collaborative effort of what you call Interpol and other security agencies, in Nigeria. I remember the one I handled. I had a client, that also allegedly a John Bell. So I was the one that processed the Interpol application.
Okay.
I did the first one. The Interpol now looked for certain countries I mentioned, and they said, "Oh, they can't find her there. They couldn't find her in those two countries."
Right.
They now advised me to do a very complex process of what you call, placing any accused person on red alert. I did it in conjunction with the Interpol in Abuja and the Ministry of Justice, and then they demanded, when the application was brought before the Interpol headquarters in France,
Okay.
they demanded to know the offense that the person is alleged to, and without that proof of the alleged offense, they will not in any way place any person, because they are very, very unbiased. And you know how the white men handle their situation. You can allege anything, but they want concrete proof before they can place any person on red alert.
Right.
So I had to bring the process in court from EFCC, even though EFCC were darling in providing that evidence. They did eventually on the last day. That evidence was produced to Interpol in Abuja. Interpol now took it to France. Of course, everything is by technology. And before you know it, they went through the entire process and discovered there was a genuine cause of placing this person on red alert, and they did. I'm sure the Nigerian government must have followed that process, with evidence of the alleged evidence of what Kanu may have been committing against the state, and before that particular red alert is played. And when that red alert is played, anywhere you are in the world, especially for the member countries that have signed that treaty of Interpol with agreement, then they will get you, and that is maybe what has happened. They won't come and inform you that they have done this openly. No. What happened is that I don't know where he may have gone. I don't know where they picked him from,
right,
and then brought him back to Nigeria. So there is nothing wrong in bringing him straight. And I said earlier, what the government did was the right thing. They took him straight to the court.
Okay.
And then when the court asked certain questions, now why did you jump? And then he now gave a reason. I said, okay, fine. We want to inform the lawyers of Kanu so that they can also prepare for the defense. Okay. Again, it's also important we point out is that the requirement of our law and constitution is that enough time should be given to an accused person with his lawyers to prepare for their defense.
Okay.
Because now, inform the lawyer. 26th of July will be the date for trial, so that they can be aware. So there is nothing wrong in informing them. They can't go and inform you, we're going to go and arrest him and all that. So I don't see any complaint on that issue, sir.
Fantastic. Last question before we let you go, Dr. Obani, is the issue of surety. When Nnamdi Kanu was first granted bail, one of the prominent personalities who stood surety for him was the minority leader of the Senate, Senator Inaya Baribe.
Yes.
My question in this regard is, what happens to him now that Nnamdi Kanu has been rearrested?
No, he will immediately apply for to be exempted from if he doesn't want to still start surety for him.
Okay.
So he apply immediately. What he forfeited, which is the right thing. It's not a criminal offense when you stand surety for an accused person and the accused person joins bail. What the legal consequences for that is that you forfeit the bail bond. Whatever amount of money you have promised you're going to pay over to the federal government is what you forfeit. But now that the accused person has actually been rearrested, whatever forfeiture that has occurred, before now, that money will be refunded to him because the accused has appeared. It's not a criminal offense. It is wrong for police or EFCC to arrest any surety because of the fact that the accused has absconded. No, it has no legal, it has no jurisprudence, supporting it. What you can only lose is the bail bond. You are saying, I'm going to pay this over to the federal government if I fail to produce the individual.
Yeah.
But in his own case, remember, the allegation was that it was even the government that drove Nnamdi Kanu. It was a factual situation that needs to be proved also in court. But I don't know the extent of that trial. I mean, that particular case between Abaribe and the federal government. But what I'm sure of is that I heard that he lost 100 million, which was a surety bond. So I think now he will be asking for a refund of that money. But then he must also exclude himself now from standing for that trial, for that surety issue for Nnamdi.
Dr.
I don't know who's going to stand for Nnamdi now, but then
that's very dicey. Dr. Nnamdi Obani, thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning.
Andrew, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, and thank you for the information you shared. We'll be back. Stay here, Lagos.
This is an infomercial.
Everywhere you go, you hear the phrase, "We move." It's not just words. It's an expression of hope and belief. It's the unstoppable energy of bright minds. When things aren't going as planned, we don't give up. We move. Rejections won't hold us down. Disappointments won't derail us. We keep grinding because every step we take counts. So, whatever you do, never stop believing in you. Turn up your dreams because whatever life brings, we move. MTN, everywhere you go, we move.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Yes, I won! Oh my God, it's home, guys. Since I joined BiggyBet, I have been cashing out daily. You don't mean it? Look at you. Let me tell you, they offer 120% welcome bonus, bigger odds, 315% accumulator bonus, got one bonus, and you can even cash out anytime, whether in a shop or online. They also have the best virtual games and jackpots. Hey, you see? They even pay winnings instantly. Guy, choose bigger rewards. Visit www.biggybet.com. Sign up or become an agent now. BiggyBet. Bigger reward, bigger life.
This is what we live for. To connect with history in the making. To stream every breathtaking moment. To witness Mbappe, Kane, and all the football greats. To be part of the journey to glory. This is where we live the good and the bad. And unashamedly give our all to the beautiful game. Live the experience. Watch all the Euro 2020 action live from SuperSport on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
If something plenty, how do you say it on the streets?
Well, kilo bade is plenty.
What if I add more to it? Let's say I add more and more. So let's say it's now pour like a river anko.
My sister, tawana berekete.
If I add more anko, waiting past brekete.
Well, show you the one mean. Nothing past global berekete now.
Yes, sir. Nothing past Globe Bracket. We go give you 600 naira free airtime as you deactivate the new Glow SIM. Up to 100% bonus for every data plan when you buy. Plus including 700% bonus on every recharge for new Glow customer them. Or the one where they glow before. Just go activate your new Glow SIM. Recharge or buy data. Make you begin to enjoy Bracket. Hey, carry any Glow authorized dealer to buy your new Glow SIM today.
Unlimited.
John, your temperature is so high. Why have you not gone to the hospital now? Hey.
I read on Facebook and WhatsApp that if I mix...
Mix what? Hey. So in this age and time, you are still taking health advice from Facebook and WhatsApp? Hey, don't joke with your life, oh. Never take health advice from people who cannot verify their identity on social media.
This message is brought to you by Africa Check.
This is what we live for. To connect with history in the making. To stream every breathtaking moment. To witness Mbappe, Kane, and all the football greats. To be part of the journey to glory. This is where we live the good and the bad. And unashamedly give our all to the beautiful game. Live the experience. Watch all the Euro 2020 action live from SuperSport on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
Hey, Alpha now. You start your day like this. Everything is going well until the unexpected happens. Then, hey, the bass boss begin.
Why would you hit me?
If you get our Flexi Comprehensive Motor Insurance Plan, you can save yourself the and the painful cost of repairing the damage to your vehicle. For as low as 15,000 naira a year, if someone bashes your car, we pay to get it fixed. Visit www.hairsinsurance.com or call 0700 434 7764 to get the Hairs Flexi Motor Plan. Hairs Insurance, your simple, smart protection.
Hey Lagosians, some thrilling news for you here. Do you know that Air Peace, Nigeria's premier airline, is launching flight operations into Ilorin on Thursday, June the 17th, 2021? Yes, that's right. Now this means you can fly daily to Ilorin from Lagos and Abuja while experiencing our signature hospitality offered by a well-trained crew. Fly with Air Peace to Ilorin and enjoy peaceful skies as you take advantage of our affordable fares. For bookings, head to our website on www.flyairpeace.com or download the Air Peace mobile app on Play Store or App Store. Go on, start booking and share the great news. Air Peace, your peace, our goal.
In the information era, facts, events, and news are available at the click of a button. The information flow is enormous, which makes the financial markets unpredictable. As a trader, you need to have a strategy, and most importantly, you need a trustworthy partner that will simplify things for you. Hot Forex is serious about its responsibilities to you. With its origin dating back to 2010, we are a multi-regulated broker with over 2 million live accounts, wide global presence, more than 35 international awards, tight spreads, multiple assets, reliable fast execution, technological innovation, and multiple account types. The Hot Forex team is always ready to deliver trading services and free trading education that you can rely on every time. And this is not just a mission, it's a promise. Visit the Hot Forex Educational Centers at 3rd floor, Wala House, 90 Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos, or call 0908-517-6394 or visit www.hotforex.com. Hot Forex, for traders that want more.
The place in Brighton, make everybody they wonder. Waiting because of the shine. Lush hair, long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair, gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly, you know they tango. Lie, gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. I wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they trust Lush Hair Extensions. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Not a new level. Where I sample your ticket. From best king to yesterday's gone today. It be a lucky day. For best king to you are royal, you oh yeah, come make me bet. We best king to project this cause today. It be a lucky
Bet King, playground for kings. You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
The nation's number one talk station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Lovely morning to you. If you are just tuning in, welcome. 8:33 is the time from our studios. And this morning we are looking at the rearrest and rearrangement of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. He was rearrested and rearranged at the Federal High Court, Court number 2, Abuja, yesterday. Before the break, we spoke with Alistair Cox. We also spoke with Dr. Monday Ubani. Right now, let's bring on our third guest on the program today, and that person is Bolan Olojede, social commentator as well. Bolan, a lovely morning to you. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, Sheriff. Nice to be here.
It's a pleasure to know that you're there, Bolan. First and foremost, let me begin this way with you, Bolan. You must have been looking through the outpour of emotions and comments out there since the news broke yesterday. Tell me what you've been able to aggregate. What do you think the opinion of is there a single thing that you can say? This is what most people are saying.
It's actually a divided opinion out there. And there are also some feeling of apprehension in certain quarters. There are people who believe that Kanu is very popular and that his arrest might spur a renewed violence among his supporters. There are other people who are saying, look, the government, as long as the government subsists, it must be able to show that it is capable of maintaining the security of the state. And that Kanu represents an anti-security, so to say, because of the volume of violence with which IPOB have been associated. So they believe it is important to be able to bring somebody like Kanu to come and answer to the government. Having said that, also, people are saying, okay, the same kind of tenacity that the government has put into bringing Kanu back to this country to come and answer to the court, that they have not seen the same tenacity being unleashed on criminal headers or banditry in the Northwest.
Indeed. Now, Bolango, let's come to how you have processed this, because I've spoken with a lot of analysts before this show, because I was trying to aggregate the thoughts of people, brilliant minds and sound minds out there. Most of them seem to think that the courts, like Yoruba people will say, two people cannot go to court and be friends afterwards. The court may not be able to resolve the issue, the agitations, especially from the southeast, that Kanu has this mind-boggling followership from across the world, not just in Nigeria alone, from across the world. They seem to believe that the only way forward is, yes, go through the court process if you have to, but then you are the government, you can, decide to go on with the case, you can decide to have other alternatives in resolving this. Do you think there are other ways that this can be resolved? Amicable ways, maybe?
You see, This is multi-dimensional, and we must approach it from all the various dimensions. Number one, it is important that the laws of the land be held sacred. So, for example, if someone had jumped bail, he must go through that process with the courts to release him. I said, okay, we have resolved that part. Then the cases, the charges against him must likewise be resolved. It is important. Otherwise, it becomes an issue of there are different laws for different people. That is on one side. The second part is that we are never going to resolve all of this just by the court process. In fact, what has happened is an opportunity for us to be able to come to the table and discuss the root cause of what the problem was, and then see how we can begin to heal whatever the frayed nerves are, where they are. So there are several dimensions to this, and like you said, the court alone will not be enough. But we must not jettison the court and say all we need to do is just negotiate. This negotiation thing is not also enough.
Right.
Let the court process go, and let's also be able to apply all the other measures to ensure that whatever is at the root cause of what Kanu started in the first instance, it's also resolved.
Why do you think people keep saying that this is a delicate matter? Because I've heard and I've read so many comments. People say nothing must happen to him. Nothing must happen to him. If anything happens to him, this is another Boko Haram thing in the making, or something like that. Why do you think people say that?
Because we live in a country where people like him, they have lost them in funny circumstances. And the reference point is the Yusuf guy of Boko Haram. People got arrested, and then the volume of information alone that could have been mined from Yusuf, everything died with him when he was shot and killed. So people have basis for their fears. But in reality, I think there are lessons that would have been learned from that.
Okay.
I believe that, number one, there would have been terms that are associated with the extradition in the first instance. And number two, it is not in the interest of resolving this problem that something bad should happen to Kanu. So government, rather than allow something bad to happen to him, will actually do the opposite. They will protect him and ensure that it does not come to any harm. That is what I think will happen.
How do you think
that we can finally resolve the matter that is at stake?
Right. How do you think this affects the operations, if I may borrow that word very carefully, of IPOB, his proscribed group?
This will definitely affect the operation, no doubt about that. And that is because he has held himself out, and his followers also hold him in like manner that is invisible and invincible. It's that person that nobody could. I mean, you've heard comments like, "Oh, the day they come here is the day they die." So to now suddenly find out that it might not be as invincible as we thought has a demoralizing effect on the followership. It also depends on his own succession planning. Does he have an effective structure in which someone could easily migrate into his position? Or is he the alpha and omega of the leadership of the organization? If he is, then he might not find an easy replacement. That is the reality. And it might just be the beginning of the end of IPOB as we know it. Now, this is where we have to be careful. Even if the violent part of IPOB goes away, if we don't address what gave birth to IPOB, we will be back to the same position some years down the line.
Indeed. Now, one last question before I let you go, Bolao, is the issue of the case in court. Again, some of the things I've been able to, when issues like this come up, the first thing you want to do is to first feel the pulse of the people and look at, what people are saying, what they are not saying, what they are saying, but then they are not saying. Then, one thing I've been able to deduce from all the reactions that I've sieved through thus far is the lack of trust in the system, the lack of trust that Nnamdi Kanu, even if you have to try him, would get justice. Do you think there is going to be any result, any end result of this that will be favorable to anybody?
Well, I think it's an opportunity for the government to show that it can do things right. Let the justice system address the part that the justice system can address. Let us have a discussion for those matters that require discussion. For those that require specific actions, let us take specific action so that we can have a holistic solution. The trust that we've had situations like this in the past. When OBJ came to power, one of the so-called enemies of state at that time was Mustafa. OBJ picked him up right from year one, and he was in jail till year 8. Eventually, Mustafa is a free man today. It's out there.
Right.
But this particular matter could be handled in a better manner that shows transparency of the process. Once we begin to play games with it won't end well. It will not end well, and the people will be justified. That even we said these people will not be fair. Why can't we be fair?
So that concern is valid. That's what you're saying.
It's a valid concern, but it represents an opportunity for the government to show that no, people, you are wrong. We can be transparent about those issues, and we can let the wrong stop.
Right, Bola Olajade, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have you. Now, let's come to you, Lagos. Let's know what you think about our conversation thus far this morning, and of course, the issue that we're discussing. 0700 993 993 993 and 01 465 7190 for the ladies. When you call me, you've got 60 seconds to share your thought. We have barely 7 minutes to go on the show. So we're going to make this very quick and straight to the point. You can send me your thought via WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805. Again, 0809 597 5805. I want you to speak to the issue, not the personality that we spoke to this morning. Just speak to the issue of the rearrest of Nnamdi Kanu. That is very, very important that you do. Feel free. We're live on Facebook and we're also live on YouTube. You can drop your comments there. I will be coming over to come pick them in a moment. Let's speak with Benga. Benga is in Ikoyi. Hi, Benga. Good morning to you.
Hey, Mr. Sheriff. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, Benjamin Sheriff from Ikoyi. Now we are praising the Interpol and the Secretary Agents for them to arrest Carlo. What is delaying them for how many months? For them to arrest Nnamdi Kanu. That's number one. Number two, I believe that they will give Nnamdi Kanu a fair hearing for him to defend himself for court.
Okay.
And they have tried also to notify the lawyer. I have listened to your guests this morning, all of them. They spoke well. See, they should treat this matter in a way that will augur well for Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu has billions of followers all over the country, and he has turned around some of the countries to notify them what is going to happen. It's not afraid of the judgment. It is not afraid of the case. It's not afraid of coming to Nigeria. But he have already told them that if they should protect him, that he's ready to come to Nigeria to defend the case.
Okay.
But as you see here now, let them treat this matter in a way that will augur well for Nigeria.
Very fairly.
And what of other ones that making inciting statements in Nigeria here? Have they arrested them? That's my question. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Benjamin. Adegoke is here from Lekki. Hi, Adegoke. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Sheriff.
Morning to you.
Yeah, like I previously said in the morning, that this matter should be handled with caution and that nothing should happen to Kanu, although lessons learned. He actually incited violence many times with his speech. He was too aggressive, and he said some things that implicated him, There are ways, like I was telling one of my friend who is a Biafran, I told him that there are ways to go about agitation, not through violent means, but the government will have their own fault because they were not ready to listen at all to agitators. Like we know Sunday Igboho's one is coming up now. And if it's not, at least by now, they should have called him to negotiate or discuss with him. He has been agitating for that, but they are
60 seconds.
So
Okay.
if something terrible happens now, they will start arresting.
Thank you for calling me. Appreciate it. Divine is joining us right now from Okota, I think. Divine, hi, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
I don't have much to say, but I just want to make some points clear.
Okay. Yes, please.
The government that arrested Nnamdi Kanu, I hope their problem will be solved now. Like everything happening in Nigeria will now stop. If they feel that Nnamdi Kanu is their problem, I hope now everything will be resolved. Okay, Sunday Igboho and the terrorists terrorizing the nation, nothing has been done. I hope right now they are going to start arresting every one of them and bring them to justice. That is just what I have to say.
All right, Divine.
And please, one more thing, please.
Yes, please.
I will implore you to please invite people that are not biased on your show. Please, it will help the populace, even those that are angry or those that have different views.
All right, Divine.
To probably channel their thoughts in the positive manner, please.
Okay, Divine.
All
Divine.
right.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day.
You too. Akigbe is joining us right now. Igbe, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning to you.
Please, I want to know, these people that are agitators, did they even went to secondary school at all? If not, they are educated. They know the channel. They have not written the document and the state they want to control. They also get letter from each local government or wealth that they are ready to support them. But none of this is like that. They just take it upon themselves to want to control a whole section of Nigeria. That is a big crime. If they feel that they want to be the head of a country and they are agitating for that country, how many states want to follow them? How many local government want to follow them? You cannot just force people to be under you. Like Sunday Igboho is talking about Oduduwa. Does he know the meaning of Oduduwa? Does he know the meaning of Ilefe? Does he know the meaning of Lagos? This he doesn't have knowledge of. And you want to control the people that are there?
60 seconds.
There are apostles.
60 seconds.
Disciples, there are disciples.
Akigbe.
So they must be brought to book.
All right, I hear you. Let's speak with Paul. Paul is joining us from Egbeda and he's the first time caller. Paul, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning to you.
How are you?
Very well.
You see the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. It is a very dicey one. If you have been listening or you've been monitoring these guy's speeches, he had been telling his members and his followers all over the world. I think 6 months ago, I played a lot of things that I saved that he spoke. Since yesterday,
I have some too, yeah.
Yes. He said he was coming to Nigeria. And he said either he's jailed or he's killed. That it will not stop the agitation. That he has raised people to take over from him. So this guy is not afraid of dying. He said either they give him referendum or they lower him to 6 feet. So the person we are talking of is not somebody that is a coward or is afraid of dying. So Nigerian government should tread with caution because this guy has nothing to lose again. He has lost his parents, lost everything he had. So he's just waiting to see Nigeria
60 seconds.
handle this thing with caution. And I pray that God will give them wisdom to handle it with caution.
Thank you,
so
Paul.
that there will be peace. Thank you.
Paul, thank you. Tunji is on YouTube where we're streaming live. Tunji says, if they can use all their energy and resources with lots of bribes to arrest Kanu, why can't they use the same for the terrorist groups all these years? Tunji, thank you for your thought. I appreciate it. I really do. This person says, Etuk says, I don't believe we need to be afraid of war. From the beginning of Israel, they've been fighting war. Even till now, they're still fighting war. So I don't think anybody should be afraid of war. My friend, you should be afraid of war. You should, actually. You should. Let's get back to the telephone. 8:51. Oh, my goodness me. I have like 2 more minutes to go. Okay. Let's see if we can squeeze in this one. Hello, good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning. My name is Doris. I'm calling from Aoya. Yeah.
Welcome, Doris.
Yeah. So I wanted to just say something, and although I'm actually from the eastern part of Nigeria, but I also want to say that I would like the law to take its course in case of Nnamdi Kanu. If he's found guilty, let him face the consequences of it, and then if he's also found innocent, let him also face that as well. And I also want to say that I've been following things about Boko Haram for quite some time now, and it's already 10 years, and the government has not been able to fish out who are the sponsors of Boko Haram. But they were able to work with the Interpol to fish out Kanu Marcos. So that's a question for the Nigerian government, and it looks as if there's something that people are hiding somewhere that we don't know about. So the government should ask themselves if they are really being honest with Nigerians in fishing out Kanu Wanko and leaving the other terrorists and their sponsors. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. I appreciate it, Doris. I really do. 8:52. Oof, let me take one Facebook. Friday on Facebook says, a pity federal government leave the major problem facing Nigeria and they will be chasing shadows. This man left the country after they granted him bail 2017. Later on, gunmen invaded his house in Afroiku. Yeah. Why rearresting him now? Why they haven't arrested, you mean? Sheikh James Gumi, you mean? Leader of Sheikh Gumi is not the leader of Boko. Oh, come on, man. Okay, I'm back to WhatsApp. Let's take a few WhatsApp messages. I can't take any more calls because I don't want to risk you being cut off. It's better I get cut off than you getting cut off. Yeah. Okay, let's do it that way. Let's take another one here from WhatsApp. This person says his own boys. I think that's your name, own boys. It says Sunday Igbo is not Yoruba leaders. Government know what to do. Just leave government to do the needful. That's what homeboys sent in this morning on the show. And let's take another one here. This person says, okay, so a lot of people are saying this thing. If the same efforts could be effective with killer headers, then we have a government. You didn't leave me with your name, but thank you so much for your thought. Lagos, Nigeria, this is how far we can go on the show today. I must go now. I really must go. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. But I need to let you know that this is not the last time you have this conversation on Nigeria Info today. We still have Sunnyside coming up at 12 noon. We have Hard Facts coming through at 3 p.m. with Sandra Esegosili as well. And we will not stop until we give you all the latest and big stories, big conversations in the country here on Nigeria Info. I'm Sheriff Quadry. I'm on social media, all social media at Sheriff Quadry. Daily Digest with Jimmy Sue, Diabumi edition is next, and Alibaba is Jimmy Sue's guest this morning. I'll see you tomorrow at 5. Good morning to you.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.